What's going on, everybody? It's your boy T-REV. We are about to call up Aaliyah Whitehead's parents and talk to them on the phone and find out what information we can find out about the case in general. She was last seen on March 13th walking away from the residence. So let's see what type of information we can get. The mom gave me the go to give a call, so I'm going to call now.
Hello.
Hello, is this Alicia?
This is her.
Hey, how's it going? It's T-REV. I talked to you briefly on Facebook.
I'm trying to hold it together.
Yeah, I definitely understand that 100%. So March 13th was the date that you last seen your daughter?
Yes.
But did she storm? Like, I know as teens, we stormed. I know when I was young, I had stormed off and ran away and stuff like that. But is this out of something that she has done in the past or anything? Like, because we do have problems with our parents and stuff. I know it's way more than that, right? Like, I know that it's probably.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of, being a teenager and doing some questionable things, and we reached out to all of our local resources trying to get her help.
Yes, ma'am.
As a parent, we love her, we want what's best for her. And every resource we reached out to basically said they can only offer therapy because she's not breaking the law.
Right.
And I explained to them, we did therapy for 2 years, and I mean, it wasn't doing anything. And we begged and pleaded, can we put her inpatient somewhere so that we know she's safe? And like I said, the laws aren't set up to help a kid who hasn't broken the law.
Right.
They're only set up to help. They're only set up to help kids after they've done something that's illegal.
The fact that she's missing though, and I've heard she doesn't have her phone, correct? That you got.
No, she doesn't have her cell phone. Yeah.
Yeah, now that is concerning because a child usually returns back to where they have somewhere to lay their head, and I don't know how, like,
exactly
the circle of her friends or anything like that, but somebody knows something and they're not saying something.
And that's my point. And I've repeatedly, every person I speak to, I understand that she might have initially run away. I get that. But here we are at 7 days. There is no way that she's just hiding out at a friend's house.
Right.
That just does not make logical sense.
Yeah, no, there's a red flag here. And I just with the story and what I've seen without even talking to you, that's what drew my interest. And I was talking with the team that I work with, and we just look around on the internet. They call us sleuths, right? But in general, I like to spread the word because there was a missing girl last week, and her name was Chelsea Wiley. And the next day, they had found her right after I went live and had 600-700 people in my live, and we were talking about it and just searching. So I want to put some awareness on it, and then maybe put up like $1,000 or $2,000 to see if we could get somebody to reach out and tell you exactly where she's at. Because somebody's either she's being somebody's harboring her, like have their at her house or their house, whose house, I don't know who, but in general, somebody's either doing that or there's something else more fishy to it. Somebody, and that's the dangers in the world right now. Like it's a crazy place. There's kids being snatched up off the street. Somebody could have I don't even want to put that thought out there, but we got to think from every aspect.
I mean, we have to, at this point, we have to think,
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, at 14 years old, we all remember being 14. I remember how impressionable I was at 14, and we didn't have the internet.
Yes, ma'am. I'm afraid there might be an adult taking advantage of her. You know what I'm saying?
And that is my greatest fear. And that's why I keep telling people this is more than just a standard ticked off teenager that ran away from home.
You know your daughter the best, so you would know. This is completely out of character for to go away for 7 days, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're a very close family.
Okay.
We don't, more than a night at a friend's house, she's never been away from home.
Yeah, see that right there that's a red flag for me, because I can get it if she ran or went for a walk and came back an hour later and you were like, hey, where were you? She was just upset, but this is 7 days now. Now, who do you know her closest friends? Have you talked to her closest friends at all? The parents of their closest friends. Sometimes these parents will hide these kids, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like they will. Sometimes and they'll listen to what a child tells them, like a teenager. Like sometimes these kids will make
Right,
up stuff. Oh, I'm being, yelled at home or abused, and then people feel bad, but that's never really the situation. Sometimes there's all
right,
different types of situations, but and to me, what you're telling me, and from what I heard and read and seen on the internet, I feel like there's a red flag here. I feel like she needs to, you know what I mean? Like if we put a reward out, I think somebody will come forward and speak and say, hey, she's here. If that's really the case,
right. Yeah, I think, like you said, I mean, at this point, and all of her friends that we know of have been questioned, like multiple times, not just by our counties, but, higher up, like TBI and stuff, have even questioned these kids. And they're all saying that, they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, a 14-year-old just leave. I mean, now is the area you guys live in, is it like rural at all? Is it
Yeah, it's very rural.
man, that
And
seems
they've
like
done ground searches. We actually live close to the river. They searched the river.
is there a reward already or no?
No.
It's just, I don't understand how people do things and then they don't even think about what the parents are going through. Like I don't. Somebody seen something and somebody knows something. Period. They know where she's at, or you know what I mean. Like she, I just don't
Or
get it.
they've seen her somewhere.
Right.
And again, my thing is, I mean, it's not like she left with a bag of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like she has to survive. She has to have food. She has to have clothes. Somebody has to have seen her somewhere.
And that's a great point. And that brings me to the couple thoughts that I had. When did you take her phone from her? And from the time that she left the house, when did you guys take the phone from her? Because that phone might have some very telling information in there. If she was talking to somebody and was like, hey, meet me here, I'm gonna pick you up here, it would be able to
Right.
pinpoint anyone
Well,
she talked to or plans she made.
they they have. Well, she had a cell phone that her dad and I got for her, and that's been searched. And then we found a secret phone about 4 or 5 days before she left,
Mm,
and they have that phone, and nothing has turned up. But at this point, I feel like maybe my thoughts as a mom, I feel like she probably had another cell phone that we didn't know about, and maybe
wow.
whoever is helping her, that
Is there
I don't
do
know.
you know that if she had like a boyfriend or anything, or was there anybody, because as teens we could be secretive, was there any type of influence that was maybe above the age of 17 or around the age of 17,
And
18,
that
19?
that's my worry. I mean, we don't have any proof of that, but again, I mean, she's 14.
Mhm.
She can't just survive on her own. Somebody
Excuse me.
had to have either picked her up or met her, or she has to be somewhere where someone's helping her. I mean, she can't just disappear.
Right. There's no doubt that she can't just disappear there without there is something here. I don't the thing that's getting me is it could it be like it has to be like an older like somebody that has a place for her to go and be like, hey, just run away from home. Or there's something there that I think they're missing when they search these phones. I don't know if she used Snapchat or have they checked Snapchat, because a lot of people talk on that. And where the heck is my
Yeah, that's actually one of the first things they checked.
Okay, so
Yep.
they did check Snapchat, because Snapchat, the
Yep.
messages disappear, but they can, police, of course, can pull that back up. And then
Yeah.
they have encrypted apps like Telegram that you can talk to people, and that stuff disappears and it's hard to get. they have, you know, these other, all these different types of apps where, you know, the messages disappear. So that's why I was wondering, did she have talked to, or did she talk to any people and say, hey, I'm gonna meet up with you here? Or, and it's very concerning that she just left like that with nothing, absolutely nothing. She just her was it a tie-dye sweatshirt?
Yeah.
And then yeah, oh my goodness. So you're really stuck with more questions than answers right now also.
Yeah. And I mean, as time goes on, your mind just starts fearing the worst.
Now, I'm trying to think of anything else that I need to ask you, because there is something like, okay, so does she have any best friends? Do you know her best friends personally?
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like, the people that I knew are not the same people. Like, I didn't know about her online friends.
Mm.
So,
And we know
like,
what.
all the friends that she knew, that
Mm-hmm.
I knew, I've talked to them, and they've all said the same thing. They don't know what happened. She hasn't reached out.
What is going on with these? Why can't I don't understand. So the police out there searching right now for anything, or have they put? I just don't get why they treat these. They're like, oh, you know, they ran away, but they don't make it. That no news stations have reached out and helped you at all.
I did. What is it here? WKRN, maybe? No, WBBJ.
Mm-hmm.
I did an interview with them. I have another interview this afternoon with Channel 2 News. It's out of Nashville. And then, I mean, mostly I've just been trying to get the word out ourselves. I mean, my husband leaves every day to put up flyers in a different town.
Oh man, I can only imagine what you both are going through now. When were you there when she stormed out, or were you at work, or you know what I mean? Like whenever she took off.
Um, yeah, I was here,
Okay.
but we have a very young baby and a child who has epilepsy, so I can't,
Oh man.
you know what I mean? And I mean, I immediately called her dad and I was
Right.
like, hey, you need to rush home. And he was here within like 13 minutes.
Oh
So
wow.
in that 13 minutes, and he has to, you know what I mean? He had to drive down the roads and he didn't see her. So
Was
but
there any
what makes
trails or
me feel
anything?
like,
Was there trails around there?
yeah. And they've had like over 100, I don't know what you call them, search people, searching everywhere around our property, anywhere.
Okay. Now I'm wondering if like, because you got I don't know if she had Facebook, TikTok. I mean, because you got inboxes on all that, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all these different social media programs that would are at the access of kids these days. They can easily reach somebody. You got Discord that can even be harming. I have a Discord. I have mine private, but there is situations where you can get into a Discord and talk to somebody and be misled by whoever you're talking to, because you never know who's on the other end of that computer. And
Hmm.
who was she you know what I mean? Because like you said, you know about her friends personal life, but the online friends are the part where it's scary, because these people can get into your head and make you feel like, hey, this person's a good person, I'm gonna go meet them and run away, and they tell them some false story, and next thing you know what I
Or,
mean?
I mean, we've all seen the stories of where the young girl meets who she assumes is somebody her age and, meets up with them and finds out it's some 40-year-old grown man.
I'm scared
And
that she's being held against her will right now somewhere.
I
Like
do too.
that's
And that
what
is in my heart, and I hate saying that. I would love for it to just be, she just run away. I mean,
absolutely.
but in
Absolutely.
my heart, at this point, I feel, I mean, my daughter and I were very close. So I mean, yeah, she was doing some things that I didn't know about. Yeah. But I don't feel like after 7 days she would just be gone just because she wanted to be. I don't.
Right, but like you said, mom knows best. Period. Mom knows best, and you know that something's not wrong, which is why you're posting every day, and asking for help from the public, and reaching out and doing things. I mean, like I said, we can put out. I can help put some money together and get some type of reward because unfortunately, in the world we live in today, people don't like to talk. If they see a reward, they think twice, and maybe
Right.
put through some information. And I know right now it's a struggling time for a lot of people in our country. It's for cost of living and everything that we have going on. But I can most definitely get my community together and we can get some reward money put up. I don't know if that's something that you want to do, but if you're interested in that, I can definitely help. I got $500 to $1,000 myself I can put towards it right now, and to get the word out, and maybe we can get somebody to come forward. But I also know my community will step forward and also throw in with what I put in too. So we can get some money and a reward, and possibly have some people speak out because somebody knows something. She didn't just walk off and teleport somewhere. You know what I mean? That
Exactly.
something happened. She was in communication with somebody, or she met up with somebody, and they're somewhere right now, and she's just with whoever's harboring her. And I'm scared it's an adult, and that's what I was talking about with my team. I was like, I'm scared that she's with somebody that is an adult, that she just because how adults can just take these children and have them do whatever they want, because they
Yeah.
can sit there and manipulate these kids. It's like on like the show Web of Lies. You see it all the time. These guys do this stuff,
Hmm.
or whoever it may be. It could even be a woman at some point. Like that, women do it too. But in general, I'm afraid of that, and I'd like to make that offer to you in general, to start maybe getting a reward put together, because it's been 7 days. Nobody spoke. You haven't got a call from her. Nobody's reaching
Exactly.
out to you that I know of.
No, no one is, people have said, have you seen her? Just people asking questions. And then, I don't know, lately we've been getting a lot of, I don't know, call them spammers, just messaging and saying, just crazy things like, we have your kid, and then
What?
it's checked out. Yeah, like I had a person send me a message on Facebook saying that I'll never see my kid again and all this. Well, of course, I turn it over to the FBI,
Are you
and they check it
serious?
out and find out she's done this to plenty of other families with missing children. It's like her, I don't know.
Is
I
that
reported it
person
to
in
Facebook.
trouble? That is
They said they're trying to
disturbing.
locate her address, um, but they just tell me that, it's not true. They've checked it out. Um, but she is someone that has been known to message other families of missing children and saying the same thing.
I'm so
I
sorry that
mean, I'm
you even
getting,
have to go through that. That is absolutely disturbing in every aspect. That something is wrong with whoever did that. I don't know what's
I
wrong.
couldn't,
That's oh my gosh.
I don't know why someone would ever prey on hurting families. I mean, I don't understand the world.
Oh man. So how would you explain your daughter's personality, or you know what I mean? Like how would you explain her to people? And how is her heart as a person?
She's a very loving child. She was very into like arts and music, singing. Uh, she'd help anybody.
Mhm. And what should they what would you immediately say that people could notice about your daughter if they are in public? Because I know I have a lot of people from Tennessee. I've posted about this, and I've seen some people hit me up like, "Hey, I'm from around that area," and stuff like that. So what would you ask them to look for if they're in public and maybe they see her, or because I see she had that tie-dyed sweatshirt on, and that stands out very well for somebody. But what
Right.
features would stand out the most?
I mean, I'm trying to think about what she couldn't change, or whoever has her could change.
Right.
She does have a mole on her right side of her neck, and it's not just a little tiny one. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
a good size, so you should be able to. That would be noticeable. It's not something they could just change.
Right. Right.
Um,
Mm. This is
Because my fear at this point is, you can cut your hair, you can dye your hair, you can
absolutely.
wear glasses.
Well, the greatest fear for me here is somebody holding her against her will. Now, I mean that's the biggest fear of it all, and we're praying that she just ran away and she's going through a little phase right now, and she'll return home, and everything everything will be fine. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, but in general, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that she's okay and fine. But I mean, we also got to look at the red flag part of it. Did they search and comb the woods from a mile to 5 miles out from where you live at?
Yes, they did. They did. They searched. Gosh, I don't know how many. It was like 200 and something acres. They've searched.
What's your closest neighbor too? Like, is he older? Is there any? Would you be able to describe any of them? Or are they like older people? If you will.
I live like in a neighborhood where it's mostly vacationers.
Okay.
Like I said, we live right on the river, but there is some neighbors, and they've all been questioned multiple times. Anybody who's had cameras, their cameras have been pulled.
Did you ever have suspicions of anybody around? And I just like to ask this to anybody who reaches out to me. Did you ever have any suspicions about anybody that lives close to you? And
No,
I won't even put that out there. That's just between me and you. I actually want to know that personally. Because did you have any suspicions of anybody that ever eyed your daughter in a weird way that is an adult that lives close to you?
no.
Okay.
I mean, we do have some neighbors that were kind of, I don't know, when they were on drugs.
Right.
It
And
was obvious they were on drugs. And I've always been, not necessarily just for Aaliyah. I mean, we have two other kids, and I've always just been kind of leery of them. I make sure my kids stay away from them. I don't really let the kids walk around the neighborhood by themselves, And that's my thing too. Like when they brought the dogs out, they, tried to get her scent, and it goes about half a mile from our house, and then it just stops.
whoa. Hmm. Are you? Oh my god. So so
So
dogs did come out.
yeah, we've had two come out.
So they go a half a mile on her scent
Yeah,
and then stop.
yeah.
Now
So and I
where would that be at? Like if you say all right, so where they stop at, is that in the road or
yeah,
she got picked up?
that's the only thing I can think.
Yeah, she
I mean,
most
there's
definitely
no
got
other.
picked up. So that I mean that should really tell a lot right there when they because those dogs are very good. They're very good.
Yeah,
So what in which direction? I don't know which directions. Like if I came out your house, can I go right or left both ways?
yeah.
Okay, so you could go
So
both.
the direction was right. Like if you were standing in our driveway, she would have went right.
Now, if you go right, is there stores down that way or
No,
okay? So it's apparent that she got picked up by somebody. Now, this secret phone that you're talking about, do you know how she got it?
we don't know. And that was one of the things. Like when we found it, we immediately, we questioned her. Where did you get this phone? And she, tried to say that she had gotten it from a friend, but then after looking through it, we saw that she's had it for months. It wasn't just something she recently got.
Why does this sound to me? And I grew up really rough. Like I was on my own at 13, and I grew up in the
Mm-hmm.
streets and stuff like that. I mean, that's a perfect sign of somebody bought her that phone. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking.
Somebody bought her
Yeah.
that phone and gave it to her, and it sounds like there's some type of I mean, from what you're explaining, possibly a somebody grooming, and that's what it sounds like to
That's
me.
what I thought. And
I'm
that's what me and my husband have been sitting here for days thinking, you know, I fully believe that she was very troubled, and we tried as a parent, we tried everything and begged and pleaded, please put our child, inpatient so she can get some mental help, because I knew something was wrong. And I mean, we're not made of money,
right.
I can't, we needed assistance getting her
Absolutely.
help. And every avenue we tried was just, she comes from a loving home, make sure there's nothing that she could hurt herself, get her in therapy. That's what we were told. And we tried to explain to him, she had been in therapy for about a year, and I'm not going to say it did nothing, because I don't know. I mean, maybe it did do something, but she definitely didn't talk to anyone about the stuff on the internet, the stuff that she was hiding.
Do you know what on the internet, site wise or anything, that she was messing with, or that she was on, and that she was? I don't know if you found any of that. Was she on like anything like Plenty of Fish, or these
I didn't
dating
find
apps?
anything like that.
Okay.
We just found, like, Snapchat and things like that, the typical teenage stuff. But we both know it's very easy to pretend that you're another 14-year-old kid talking to someone.
Because they got those sites, and these adults, man. I'm telling, there's these guys out here that don't care what age you are or none of that, and I'm fearing for that now, because the way you explain the dogs going, you said a half a mile from your house they go and then they stop. That means that she was guaranteed put inside of a vehicle or got into a vehicle with her own will. And I'm not trying to say that to scare you, but I'm sure you've already replayed that in your mind a lot.
Yeah.
The only thing that is puzzling me is that the freaking we wouldn't know who picked her up. So we would definitely need somebody to speak up, because whoever would have picked her up, who has contact with her, what would they do with her, who gave her that phone, who bought her that phone, that's going to be the person I think she would either one be with or would do harm to her.
Mhm.
So
And like I said, at this point, we don't even know if she had another cell phone,
mm-hmm.
and that's my fear, that she had another cell phone, or I mean, I don't know, maybe whoever she had been talking to dropped her off another cell phone. I mean, we live
Oh yeah,
in a very rural area. It's not hard to drop off a cell phone for someone, and you know what I mean?
did she have access to computer around you in general?
Yeah. But we had, like, monitoring stuff on there. So that's why, I mean, her computer and everything's been turned over.
Okay,
But
okay, so they have that.
my fear is that she did have another cell phone, and whoever either helped her or has her was communicating with her on this other cell phone that we never found.
Right. Now another question would be, when you found the other phone and you took it, what did she do after that? Did she do it? Did she have any way to get a hold of a phone and make a phone call to anybody?
Not that we know of.
Because that's where that might be something. Because when you found, say you did find this other phone, right, and she didn't have another phone, that means she would have to contact, you know what I mean, whoever had gave
Right.
her that phone and said, hey, I got this phone, blah blah blah, I'm taking off, pick me up here, I'm about to walk out, meet you right down the road. So she would use something, she would use some phone, or maybe sneak on somebody, your computer. Maybe you guys were at work and she snuck over and made a quick phone call and said, pick me up right here. I'm just thinking of scenarios in my head, because for her scent to be picked up just half a mile away, it sounds like she called for a pickup and took off without notice, without even letting you guys know she was taking off.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she somehow snuck in a phone call from, I don't, do you have a house phone or just all cell phones?
No, we just have cell phones.
Okay, so she probably wouldn't even be able to sneak and grab your phone or anything like that, or her dad's phone. Man, or get on. Was there any tablets? Did you turned over everything, like as far as?
Yeah, we've already turned over anything that she could have used for internet, to make a call, everything.
Yeah, that's just it's so crazy that she got out and fine. I don't know that like you would have to it's make a phone call or something to signal that person to pick you up. And where her scent is left off, is there a house right there at all or anything like that?
No, it's just pretty wooded.
Okay, yeah. That's a huge red flag. And there's no cameras right there within that vicinity to see possibly a car that went in that direction.
No.
Mm. So I'm trying to think of what else too, because there's what's the nearest store taking that route?
Well, the nearest store to us is actually like 10 miles.
Mm. I'm just thinking, for instance, because you know how people have cameras. Some people have cameras on their houses, etc. They'd be able to see
Yeah.
near that
Well, and
time.
we've already, um, there's like kind of like a straight strip before you get on the road that actually goes to the main part of town. And everyone through there, that anyone who has cameras has been, you know, their cameras have been pulled and nothing of her walking. Now, obviously, I mean,
I feel
cars
like it's going
drive
to be a
by.
car at this point, because just based off the scent of those dogs that stopped, just based off that, it would be like I'd say it'd be a car, because I mean the dogs are so them dogs are very good, and I trust those dogs. I really do. I trust the police dogs, because for them to stop on her scent in the middle of the road means that she was picked up. She was put into a car, picked up willingly. I mean
That's my thoughts too.
that's just what screams at me when you tell me that. So we got to get that out. So she's 5'1", 140 pounds. She's 14. Um, she was having some problems that mental health problems, as you were saying, and as teens we all go through that stuff, and hormones changing, etc., change of everything. Um, what about school? How did she do at school? Was she good in school? Was her grades good, or did she struggle with that too? Or
We actually homeschool, and I mean, she had good grades. I mean, she's very smart.
oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, homeschool with it. Because of COVID, or did you just take her out of there because she had problems in school?
We've just always homeschooled, and we did try to put her in regular high school this year for a couple weeks, and she was just, that's when we started kind of having some problems again,
Mm.
and so we just decided to take her back out.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I really don't. I really don't blame you for that whatsoever. So I'm these no boyfriends whatsoever that you know of.
She did have a little boyfriend that I knew about, um, and he's been very cooperative. I guess they had kind of gotten into it, or something. I don't really know. Just typical teenage stuff, and they weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend anymore.
Mm.
But I mean, he's been in contact with me almost every day. He's been trying to do the same as me. Spread the word, send out flyers.
Well, that's
So,
that's awesome.
and I just I just don't feel like, I mean, he's a good kid, you know. So I don't think that he knows anything. I really don't.
Okay. Did she smoke at all or anything like that? Anything, because sometimes people use drugs or just to lure kids in with stuff too. Also, I don't know that whole situation on what she was did or how. That's super personal. That's super deep. And I know we all it depends what our environment is, but when like you said, she went to high school, there's peer pressure, people like that. I don't know. That's just they
Well, that's
have a,
one of the things why we took her out. We found out, that she was vaping,
mm,
and I mean, she's a kid,
absolutely.
and I mean, we tried to explain to her, you're a kid, you don't need to be doing these things, but
Mm,
we also know that teenagers are easily
manipulated.
influenced
Yep.
and manipulated, and
Yeah, some, that's real. That's tough. That's tough. Now, are you how's dad dealing with it? Is he super upset? I can only imagine what he's going through. He probably out searching right now.
yeah, I was going to say every day I mean, he stays here, because we do have a baby too, and a son.
Oh
He's
wow.
13.
Oh wow.
So he does stay here as much as he can, but at the same time, he knows he can go out and post flyers. That's something that he can do.
Right, right.
And so that's what he does every day. There's a different town that he goes to hand out flyers, post in store windows.
Community search. Is there any community search teams out there, or anybody that's aiding and helping you search besides police? Because I know police don't always. They might be sitting back like, oh, she's just a runaway.
Well, I mean, people have asked if, we want search parties, to come help. But I feel like the area around us has been searched so much, you know, I just I don't feel like she's around here, around my house area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely not. Mm-mm. Not with that. What did the police say when the dogs searched and they stopped at that part in the road? What did they say to you? What did they give you their thoughts on that?
Well, at first they were like, well, it could have just been that because there's been traffic and stuff that her scent was basically just, I don't remember how they explained it, but the dog had just lost her scent there. And then they were like, well, she must have gotten a ride out somewhere.
And that's what I'm thinking.
Uh,
I'm thinking she got the, not only did she get a ride, but you finding that secret phone. You guys with the secret phone, were you able to do the police have that secret phone that you did find?
yeah, they have it.
So I wonder if they're gonna be because I feel like the answer lies there in some way. Like whoever bought her that phone probably knows where she's at now. If that
Yeah,
makes any sense to you. Like whoever got her that
I'm sorry,
secret phone. I feel like whoever provided that secret phone to her knows something.
right. I know they've been thoroughly combing all of her personal electronics, and they've dumped ours so that we could have them back.
Right, right.
Um,
Did it was it under
but
were they able to give you a name that phone was under?
no, they said that everything. I guess it was just like a burner phone, like it wasn't registered to anyone. You know what I mean? Like
They should be able to
I don't
pinpoint
think.
where it was purchased. Like, Walmart has Straight Talk, you got Metro, you got all these, those you can go buy that phone and put whatever name you want on it. But that would be, to comb where that phone was purchased from. I don't know what kind of phone it was. Was it, a cheap smartphone or like maybe one of those free iPhones that you get from like Boost Mobile or, stuff like that. They should be able to track that back because from all the investigations that I've seen and following and dug into, people do get tracked like that from where they purchased it at and who the carrier was because you can find out all that information just through that phone in general. I wonder if they have that and they're just not telling you.
I mean, I don't know.
You know, because police got to keep their investigation close to the cuff, and they won't tell. You know, they will not
Right.
tell you because they know
I, I,
you would probably freak out if they gave you a name on who bought it.
oh, for sure. And I'm sure by now they figured out too that we're not the kind of parents who are just going to sit here and cry and, I mean, we're out there getting her name out there, doing everything we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna talk about this a lot on my streams, and because I got tons of people that I talk to from Tennessee. I got dang near 30,000 subscribers now. People I talk to people from Tennessee. I got, like I said, I know Upchurch from out there. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ryan Upchurch.
Yeah.
Um, he's a subscriber to my channel, and I've talked to him from time to time. I I know tons of people within the Tennessee area. One of my best friends, he lives out there now, and I don't know how far away from Benton County he is, but I do have people in Tennessee, and I would say, hey, if we put up, and I can try to get as much money raised for a reward for somebody to come forward and just, if they know where she's at, because if she could, if say she's at somebody's house hanging out and somebody came over there and seen her, they might just not even know that she's reported missing and be like, dang, I was just hanging out with Aaliyah. Aaliyah's here. I just feel like if we get that information pushed out and with a reward on it, people see dollar signs and they jump.
Yeah. I agree.
And like you said, I know you said you were trying to get her help, and it's hard just in general in a US household right now to be striving. Not everybody has money coming in. But I know for a fact that I could raise a reward. I even got $500 to $1,000 to put up myself right now. That's not including people that will also pitch in from my community to get a reward out there, and then we can put a flyer up with the amount of, hey, any information leading to find Aaliyah Whitehead. That's her last name, right? Whitehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, any information following leading to Aaliyah Whitehead, this rewards right here. So I think that would help. You know what I mean? It sucks because some people don't care about things until they see a dollar sign.
But you're right. It is the reality.
It's just the reality in today, and I just want to see her be home where she needs to get home, be at in general, and then get the help that you're talking about that she needs.
Right.
And I could even get something going for that too, because I like to speak. I have a voice for people with mental health issues because I've went through it. I've lived it. I'm on disability for mental health issues myself, from PTSD, etc. So I stay home and I put all of my time into looking at missing person cases and just combing through different cases like the Idaho 4 and all that different stuff that came by, or just any cases in general. I love true crime, but I like when there's a missing person like this. I love to reach out and help families. That's just something that I like to do, and I'm always going to continue to do that. And I want to try to get Aaliyah brought back home to you any way that we possibly can. You need those answers. I can only imagine how much sleep you're getting right now and what you and your husband are going through, and then you have your other kids to deal with, and every time you look at them you think of her. I know that it's super rough right now, but keep it together, and let's get that's what I think we should do. Is I'm gonna work on that myself. I don't know how we can situate it to where we'll figure that part out with the money, right? We'll figure that part out, because I definitely want to get a reward built up, so you can promote that, hey, come in with this information leading to my daughter and you'll get this reward.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah. Oh, like you said, I mean, at this point, I feel like that is our next step.
Absolutely. 7 days, no leads, and you've been misled by some woman or whoever the heck it was that hit you up on Facebook and said, have your daughter and this, and like, I mean, there really is creepy people on the internet that are psychos.
Hmm.
And that is and that's scaring me the most about your daughter being missing, because to her sent to be tracked about it from your house to that part of the road and her be gone, that tells me that she's with somebody.
Yeah.
So anything that you need from me, or anything that you find out, or any word that you need spread, period.
If on your show, if you could just like promote my TikTok, I've been getting like a lot of uh more awareness through that. So if you could just share that, as many people as possible that sees her information, the better.
Yeah, I'm gonna promote. Actually, when we get off the phone, if you can send me the link to your TikTok,
Okay.
I'll fully promote the TikTok, the videos, everything that you have. I'll fully promote it all the way to the fullest. Um,
Okay.
any other information or anything that you want to be put out, you I will put it out. It doesn't. I'm gonna be committed to pushing and trying to find out who the heck would pick her up and then hide. Like, I don't know. There's something go. It's definitely something. There's a red flag here. Her. Have you now? I don't. I'm not sure. Is that her stepdad that you're with now, or
Yeah.
okay? So that's stepdad, and then what's? Have you heard? Have you heard from dad?
No, we haven't seen him in almost 14 years.
Yeah, that happens.
I mean, since
Oh,
my son was born. So
okay. Now is he? Huh. That's another interesting thing. Is he? Do you know if is he alive still or?
as far as we know, but uh, the police have been trying to locate him for questioning. It's just
Yeah,
they haven't been able to find him.
most definitely. Is he a shady character? Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed, did I know when we turn into teens, we start asking questions about our parents, especially if one's gone.
Right.
So, has she ever been in contact with him that you know of, on like sneaking wise, or
Not that I know of.
okay? Is he located? Do you know if he's in Tennessee or is he out of state?
We don't have any idea,
Right.
honestly. I mean, like I said, it's been so long.
Mm, I got you. Just taking some notes. I just want to make sure because you know he could have popped up out of nowhere, but no, this is that. I don't think it's that. I really think it's somebody that she's being manipulated by that picked her up and is definitely influencing her decisions.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. That's man. All right, so I'm gonna start spreading the word. I'm gonna take the TikTok now. Which TikTok is yours? Because I seen one on your Facebook earlier. Let me see. Let me go to it here. I was just on it looking at it. Is it? Let me see if this is the one you share. Okay, so maybe the Tabasu. Is that yours or
No,
no?
that's a friend of no, that's a friend of mine.
Because I seen her
I
video.
can Yeah, I have a bunch of friends that are posting videos on their accounts and reposting mine and
Okay, I'm gonna. All right, send me yours. I'm gonna look at those. I don't know how many videos you have, but I mean, I can even play them or whatever. You know what I mean? I can play them on there and put that up as a video as I explain certain things. I mean, I know you're just as puzzled as everybody else is. She just walked off and all of a sudden she's gone. So I mean, yeah, there's red flags here. Let's get the word out. I'm gonna start working on building up a reward. I got 500 or 1,000. I got $1,000 right now. I'm gonna put towards it. So that'd be 1,000 plus whatever my community decides that they want to throw in. Which I know they'll throw in 20s here, five here. Five. It'll build up so we can get that going. I don't know if I want to put it on a GoFundMe or how I want to do it. I'd rather that be held by you. You know what I mean? I'd
okay.
rather because if somebody reaches out to you, you'd be able to take care of that immediately. So I'm gonna start pushing on that, and then I'm gonna keep in touch with you and keep finding out if you what anything that you've heard from police or anybody that's reached out to you. I've been checking to see dang near what I was checking last night just to see if there was updates. So, and I'm puzzled by the way that everything is unfolded for you. Like with really no answers and just sitting around worrying all day.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna keep in touch with you. I appreciate you talking to me and letting me know about her. And I'm
Well, I appreciate anything you can do to help.
yes, ma'am, absolutely. I will continue to use my platform until she is brought home. So either way, until she's brought home, I will continue to mention her story, talk about her in videos, talk about her in lives. I will continue to spread the word. I will anything that you need from me. All you got to do is ask me. Period. I don't care what it is, whether it's a video, a new tip, a new anything. You let me know, and I'll put it straight out to everybody. I just wanted to talk to you first before I started pumping everything out because I wanted it to hear exactly like the last circumstance of what happened on why she left or I don't maybe she got in trouble and that's why she stormed out. As teenagers that happens, we storm out when we get in trouble. So I remember all those times as a kid, and I'm hoping that that's just it, that she stormed out and that there is no foul play. But there's always predators lurking, and I tell this to my community all the time: be vigilant. Always pay attention to your surroundings because there is somebody always out there looking to harm somebody or looking for a target. And I hope that that's not the issue here. And we're gonna push until Aaliyah is brought home to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll be
All
talking
right.
to you here shortly. Thank you so much. Send me that TikTok that you want me to share, your TikTok account, and I'm gonna start pushing that out right now as soon as you get it over to
Okay.
me.
All right.
All
Will do.
right. Thank you for talking to me, Alicia. God bless you, your husband, your family. I hope that we get Aaliyah brought home safe and sound and home where she needs to be and then get her some help. But we'll worry about that after. God bless you, ma'am, and I'll be talking to you soon, okay?
All right. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. It was a tough. I kind of went my mind was blank during asking her questions because I just can't even imagine what she's going through, the pain that she's feeling. Right, I just can't imagine it. I can't fathom. What bothers me the most about that, what I just was listening to with her, is the secret phone, her walking off the property, and her scent being picked up a half a mile down the road, and then it all of a sudden just goes away. Yeah, there's red flags here. If you know anything about this missing child that you see on your screen right now, I'm begging you to come forward. Please come forward and let Benton County, Tennessee, the sheriff office, her mom, reach out to her on Facebook. Okay. Alicia Laster is her mom's name. She just sent me the TikTok. I'm gonna pull it up now. I'm gonna put this on the screen for you guys now. I want you guys. She just sent me this video after we got off the phone. Please help her.
My daughter, Aaliyah Whitehead, has been missing since Monday, March the 13th at 4:30 p.m. What initially started out as a simple runaway case has turned into much more. I know something happened to my daughter. I need everyone to share this, share the flyers. Look, something has happened. She is 14. She didn't just run away. Please be on the lookout. Share all my posts. Do everything you can. Help me bring my daughter home. Please look at this photo. Share it. Share all the information. Thank you.
Now, I will be posting the link to her TikTok down in the description below. Please, if you know anything, reach out to Alicia Laster. Let her know. We will be getting a reward put together on my behalf. I will be trying to raise as much money as I can as for a reward and an answer for her. God bless you. Thank you, everybody that listened to this phone call with me talking to her mother. The questions were all over the place because my mind was going in circles. This is a missing child. She didn't just walk out the house and disappear off the face of the earth. That's not the way this works. Something happened, whether it's foul play, Whether somebody scooped her up and threw her in the car, whether she got into a vehicle with who said person, something happened. I don't want to assume the worst because I want her to be brought home safe with her parents and where she deserves to be at. And if you guys watching know anything, please help. This is a mother that needs help. I love you guys. Everything that you hear in this video is all speculation. Allegedly, if you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. She's missing. Please help. God bless you guys. Love you, Rev Gang family. I'll be talking to you soon.